Israel launches airstrikes in Lebanon. Hezbollah
Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, an award ceremony was held to honor a victim of the Lewiston mass shooting who was also a champion for Maine's deaf community.
Plus, the latest poll numbers show that Mainers are split on whether or not to change the state flag in the upcoming election.
And we'll also hear what's being done to combat an invasive species that's taking over Maine's coastline.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us on this Friday morning. We'll have those stories and much more coming up. But first, to check with that important weekend forecast. Looks like things are kind of changing with the seasons. Summer's coming to an end, and along with it, the temperatures are going down.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about it today. It's just cloudy today, still a warm day, but then you'll notice things will start creeping into the 60s as we head through the next week.
Right, noticeably cooler than the last few days.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Irish Collision Center offers expert repairs with a 3D frame measuring system, aluminum repair equipment. Our recent expansion boosts capacity, faster service. We're dedicated to quality every time. Visit us today. Alrighty, here we go. We do have a small crowd advisory that is posted until 8 a.m. Saturday along the coast because of the system that is located right nearby. Also, some high surf advisories will expire tonight as well, further down toward the south and west. And those green counties, that is a coastal flood advisory. That's a concern there. And now it lasts until about 3 p.m. as we get towards later on today for the counties highlighted here. So if you're in these areas, keep that in mind, especially if you're along the coast. Otherwise, here's a system causing trouble, descending some clouds inland. The precipitation staying over the water. You might get a few sprinkles closer toward the coast, maybe slightly inland, but for the most part, I do believe we'll stay dry today under a mostly cloudy sky. Here's a bigger picture. This is a system that's been very slow moving for a while. It is going to start moving away from us coming up later on today and especially through the weekend, so there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Futurecast for today, going with a mostly cloudy sky. You might notice some sunshine at times, or you might get a little bit more sunshine at times as we head towards your Saturday. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mostly cloudy sky, maybe some sprinkles, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. We'll get another look at that forecast a little later on. Well, a victim of the Lewiston mass shooting is honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award. The award came from the Maine Commission for the Deaf, Hard of Hearing, and Late Deafened. It was given at the State House on Thursday. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bichard has the story.
This is our 33rd annual Deaf Culture Tea Award ceremony. We acknowledge people who are very active within the deaf community.
Terry Morrell and Satara Sheikh are two of the people who put on Thursday's awards ceremony, which highlighted Maine's deaf community's resilience after last year's mass shooting that deeply impacted their community.
We feel wonderfully honored that the world has acknowledged what has happened here, and it has impacted them. There are a lot of connections within our deaf community, and so we know that sort of 6 degrees of separation kind of thing, and there was a lot of support and outreach from places across the country as well as internationally, and we feel so honored by that.
Receiving their Lifetime Achievement Award was someone who some described as a trailblazer and leader, paving the way for equity and access within Maine's deaf community. Joshua Seal, who played a big role in informing the deaf community during the COVID pandemic.
Josh's dedication to providing access and bridging the connections between the deaf and interpreting communities is a testament to the profound difference he made in the lives of so many here in Maine.
Morrell said he knew Seal personally and shared one of his favorite memories, remembering Seal's humor and joy for life.
But thinking back, during COVID times, we would often come together at Mackworth Island, and I actually had, thinking back, I dropped my papers, and he had such a great sense of humor, and he's picking on me and stuff, so.
At the State House, I'm Corey Bichard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, meanwhile, 2 Waterville police officers were honored for their bravery by the Waterville City Council and the person whose life they helped save. At this week's council meeting, officers Jake Whitley and Michaela Hodge received mayoral recognition as well as other commendations for bravery after putting their own lives at risk to save someone else's life. According to the police department, in June of last year, Officer Whitley responded to the Holiday Inn where he found a woman being strangled by a man. The statement says Officer Whitley intervened, risking his own safety and facing violent resistance from the assailant who attempted to disarm him. Officer Hodge arrived and helped to subdue that male suspect, then coordinated medical assistance for the woman who was seriously injured. The statement says thanks to their swift and decisive actions, the assailant was charged with multiple offenses, including attempted murder, and the woman who was involved was at the ceremony as well to thank the officers in person.
Emergency crews responded to a messy truck crash near Greenville on Thursday morning. According to the Piscataquis County Sheriff's Office, a large beverage truck rolled over on Route 15 just north of Greenville. The Sheriff's Office says the driver suffered minor injuries. The crash also caused the truck to dump its cargo across the roadway. The traffic was tied up while wreckage and hundreds of beverage cans were cleaned up.
Quite a mess there. Well, Maine Veterans Project is gearing up to host the Ed Sheffer Ink and Iron Fest next weekend. The event is a fundraiser for the organization to support veteran suicide prevention efforts. It also serves as a memorial to the late Ed Sheffer, who owned Diversified Ink in Bangor and also started the event years ago with Maine Veterans Project President Doc Goodwin. We caught up with Doc while he was also getting some ink himself yesterday.
And it's also a way for veterans to come out and talk about some of the things that are bothering them and express some of their most painful moments through art. I think it's probably the most important message to get out, is just letting people know that you matter, even if you don't feel like you do.
That special event will kick off next Saturday at Jeff's Catering and Brewer. There will also be a tattoo contest, a car and bike show, live music, and more. There's a $15 suggested donation at the door, but veterans get in for free. To learn more, you can visit MaineVeteransProject.org.
More work needs to be done in this next presidential administration. That's one of the messages Senator Angus King conveyed at a panel discussion on cybersecurity. Senator King is the co-chair of the Cyberspace Solarium Commission. He says in their 4 years as a commission, they recommended more than 80 pieces of legislation to strengthen the United States cybersecurity posture. Despite that work, King says their job is not done.
If there ever was a problem that will never be finished, this is it. Because no matter what we do, the adversaries are, we had a hearing yesterday in the Intelligence Committee, the adversaries are becoming much more sophisticated about the nature of the attacks and how they disguise the attacks and those kinds of things.
One of the first things King spoke about was America not having a policy that strongly deters cyber attacks. He says this leaves the door open for countries like Russia to interfere with the election, knowing that there will not be much of a response in return. King says part of their work is also to help private businesses learn to trust the federal government when it comes to cybersecurity.
Well, a new coalition of sportsmen announced their support for Austin Theriault and his bid to unseat Congressman Jared Golden. The coalition's Sportsmen for Theriault was announced yesterday in Farmingdale at Nielsen Sporting Goods. This coalition comes after the National Rifle Association also endorsed Theriault, and the Sportsmen's Alliance of Maine refused to endorse any candidate in the 2nd Congressional District race.
It's the 4th coalition our campaign has launched, and they're honestly continuing to grow very strongly. When you think about what industries drive our state, logging, fishing, manufacturing, what do they all have in common? They all are driven by the outdoors. While we once assumed that Jared Golden had our backs, he has flip-flopped on our Second Amendment rights and turned his back on us, the Maine people.
Well, earlier this month, Jared Golden's campaign announced a Sportsman for Golden endorsement. The group endorsing Golden includes Ed Pignot, an advisor to the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, as well as former president of the Sportsmen's Alliance of Maine, Craig Poulin.
All right, the time now is 8:09. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, in some places it can take up to 30 minutes for an ambulance to arrive. We'll hear what one town is doing to address this problem.
But first, another check of that weather forecast. A cloudy day ahead today. It will be breezy too, with highs near 70 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight with lows dropping down to the low 50s. Tomorrow, much like today, mostly cloudy and mild with highs near 69. We'll be right back.
You can feel it when your dream becomes a pursuit. And with vitiligo, the pursuit for your pigment is no exception. It's time you had a proven choice to help restore what's yours. Opzelura is the first and only FDA-approved prescription treatment for non-segmental vitiligo, proven to help repigment skin over time, restoring what's yours. It's possible with a steroid-free cream that you can apply yourself.
Opzelura can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB or hepatitis B or C. Serious lung infections, skin cancer, blood clots, and low blood cell counts occurred with Opzelura. In people taking JAK inhibitors, serious infections, increased risk of death, lymphoma, other cancers, and major cardiovascular events have occurred. The most common side effects were acne and itching where applied.
Repigmentation is possible. Ask your dermatologist today about starting or refilling Opzelura. Pursue it.
When it comes to automotive and heavy equipment repair, trust the experts at CTI Service Center, located in Old Town and Milford. CTI offers heavy-duty part sales at our Old Town location, as well as on-the-road service with our heavy-duty mobile units. CTI also offers tire sales, including mount and spin balance, as well as Old Town's only heavy-duty alignment system. CTI Service Center diagnoses issues swiftly and accurately. For reliable service and peace of mind, give us a call or visit us online at ctiservicecenter.com. CTI Service Center, simply the best.
There isn't a wrong way to communicate when it comes to empowering families to stay up to date on routine vaccines.
Will you show me?
Visit immunizeme.org to learn how to download DACA to check immunization records. This message brought to you by Maine CDC, this station, and the Maine Association of Broadcasters.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Right now, about 2 million people in the U.S. are living with a form of blood cancer. It's one of the things the Leukemia Lymphoma Society wants everyone to be aware of as part of National Blood Cancer Awareness Month. Throughout September, the LLS is sharing resources and support services for patients, caregivers, and healthcare providers. Maine Health offers a support group, and there's also the Maine Cancer Relief Fund, which helps Mainers with non-medical bills.
A person is diagnosed with a blood cancer approximately every 3 minutes. So it's quite a large number. Although a rarer disease than other cancers, there are hundreds of thousands of people affected by this.
Hernandez says in Maine, nearly 900 people have been diagnosed with blood cancer this year alone.
In the face of an EMS crisis in rural areas of Maine, town officials and a state representative candidate from Newport are looking at alternative solutions to provide reliable service. Our Doug Banks explains.
The Corinna Fire Department provides emergency medical services to the towns of Corinna and Exeter. The department's chief says there are up to 400 medical calls already this year. But Corinna hasn't had an ambulance at its station for several years and relies on surrounding departments for assistance. According to Chief Alan Emerson, Northern Light Mayo Hospital responds first, but if they're unavailable, then departments from Dover-Foxcroft, Newport, and even as far as Pittsfield, Levant, and Clinton will assist.
I had a car accident a couple of years ago with 2 people ejected. Our first ambulance on scene was almost 30 minutes. This is what got me started on. We need to try to come up with a better plan.
According to Chief Emerson, those plans include personnel in his department becoming licensed EMTs and working out a possible contract with the Newport Fire Department. However, a recent meeting between local officials and an attorney has sparked a conversation on how to bring more reliable service to the area. That attorney is Kenneth Fredette, who spent 8 years in the Maine legislature and is currently running unopposed for the District 33 seat in the House of Representatives.
The question is how do you provide a quality service with a funding stream that's reliable and sustainable?
Fredette says nothing is set in stone, but one possibility includes establishing a regional EMS unit.
But then more importantly, creating a board that would oversee it, and then second of all, how it becomes funded. My suspicion is that I will probably put a bill in the legislature, assuming I'm elected in November, that will give us some structure to have further conversations about how we may legally create a regional unit.
In Corinna, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, as the cost of food and everything else increases, so does food insecurity in our communities. But a recently opened food pantry is helping to meet the rising demand. Back in April, Northern Light, Eastern Maine Medical Center in Bangor, and Good Shepherd Food Bank partnered to open a community cupboard there. Since then, individuals have taken home 463 boxes and bags from the community cupboard at the medical center, far exceeding their expectations. Stacy Coventry, Director of Community Engagement for Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center, says good nutrition is the foundation for good health.
Everything's just so expensive right now that if we can offer that to anybody who happens to be here, either visiting or as a patient, we are happy to provide that support.
Now, the medical center is asking the community to help restock the shelves. They're accepting donations of non-perishable food items that can be dropped off at their State Street location, or monetary donations. You could do that by visiting northernlighthealth.org/give-EMMC. Then all you have to do is choose the Food Insecurity Program, and Coventry says they also need some volunteers to help keep it going.
A really noble way to help out the community.
Yeah.
All right, the time now is 8:16. After the break, an invasive species in Maine waters is getting out of hand.
We'll discuss what can be done to stop the spread of green crabs as Good Morning Maine continues.
Meet Stacy at Sheerhaven in Bangor. Whether you're looking for a total transformation, want to try the newest trend, or just need an expert opinion on hairstyle, Stacy is up for the task. For 15 years with a passion for custom cuts and colors, Stacy makes getting your hair done the perfect experience from start to finish.
With his first vote in Congress, his very first vote, Austin Terrio will put leaders in power hell-bent on
taking healthcare away from working Mainish,
letting insurance companies charge us more for health care,
cutting Medicare and Social Security benefits that we earned.
Terrio skipped work, but he still took his paycheck from taxpayers.
I think it's criminal.
Highway robbery.
I'm against Austin Terrio because he's against working people.
No-show Terrio will never work for Maine. HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
You bought your Toyota because Toyota is the longest lasting brand. You put your trust in Toyota's reputation for quality. Now put your trust in Toyota-trained certified technicians who install genuine Toyota parts to help keep your Toyota a Toyota. Contact your New England Toyota dealer today to learn about affordable September service offers that feature genuine Toyota parts. Trust the experts at Toyota Service Centers and keep your Toyota a Toyota.
Central Maine Barns and Sheds, quality products built right here in Newport with a strong attention to detail. We have an incredible selection of pre-made options and would be more than happy to custom build a unit specifically for you. Central Maine Barns and Sheds has financing options available, including a rent-to-own program. We provide free delivery and setup within a 30-mile radius of any of our locations. Check out our full inventory at centralmainbarns.com or call for more information, 368-6177.
Meet Stacy at Sheerhaven in Bangor. Whether you're looking for a total transformation, want to try the newest trend, or just need an expert opinion on hairstyle, Stacy is up for the task. For 15 years with a passion for custom cuts and colors, Stacy makes getting your hair done the perfect experience from start to finish.
They're becoming about as common on Maine beaches as umbrellas. We're talking green crabs. They're considered an invasive species, causing erosion along the shore and eating up Maine's iconic species, one of Maine's iconic species.
Mal Meyer was in Kittery, where one project is designed to help.
Clamming was halted in Kittery for a number of years because of water quality issues. It only started back up just recently. And when it did, officials noticed a different problem.
It's a huge problem.
Last year, officials set out to run a test in Brave Boat Harbor using clam seed and 14 by 14 foot nets from the Down East Institute.
We've done this in communities all over the state.
Native clams were thriving underneath these nets.
But then they pulled them up.
We found 6 months later, most of the clams that were under the nets originally had died and had been eaten by the green crabs.
They've decimated our softshell clam population. Every year tends to be the lowest harvest ever recorded.
But there's little that can be done about it.
What controls the population of green crabs is cold winters. And the way that our climate is changing, we're just not seeing that anymore.
Kittery Shellfish Warden Chuck Moran knows of one person nearby taking the invasive species and selling them to restaurants.
The hope is that the people will develop an appetite for green crabs so that we'll see, something in place to reduce them.
But Kyle Pepperman says options like trapping have their own shortfalls.
If we can just learn to adapt and figure out how to deal with them, I think that is the key to moving forward.
So for now, to keep them at bay, Moran and volunteers have put down even more nets.
There's still plenty of areas for people to clam.
These nets will stay down for about 2 or 3 years, during which time another study will be conducted to see how the local clam population is doing.
As Mount Meyer reporting, I've been following that situation for a bunch of years there, and they say that really they need to build up a demand for the green crabs in order to get rid of them. And some restaurants are researching ways to make them more tasty for people, I guess.
Right.
They're even serving them up in some places. I saw on Facebook somebody was selling green crabs recently for like $1 a pound. First time I'd ever seen them sold commercially.
I feel like somebody's tried to make a crab dip out of that.
Yeah, you got to do.
Are they all like tiny like that?
Well, they get bigger. They're not as big as like the pinky-toed crabs that we're used to around here, where you get the crab meat and everything like that. But I mean, crab is crab. You can eat them.
Yeah.
Down in Maryland, as you know, they'll take the whole crab. It's a different kind of crab, but they'll make a sandwich out of it.
Right.
And I don't know. I haven't had one, but I hear they're delicious. And they're talking about doing similar things here. I saw one restaurant. They were actually frying up green crabs, breaded. And then I guess you just eat them or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd give it a try, but
yeah. I've seen that before.
They are terrible though. Got to get rid of them.
Those soft shell crabs are easier to fry up whole.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, the time now is 8:21.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Irish Collision Center offers expert repairs with a 3D frame measuring system, aluminum repair equipment. Our recent expansion boosts capacity, faster service. We're dedicated to quality every time. Visit us today. Well, alrighty, here we go. Small crowd advisory up along the coast until 8 a.m. Saturday here because of high surf that will be expected in these areas because of a system nearby. Also a high surf advisory up until 7 p.m. Friday. Further off towards the south and west. And then these green counties right about in here is a coastal flood advisory because of the surf concerns. And now lasts until about 3 p.m. later on today. And that's for the counties highlighted here in green. Wave heights are becoming active out there at around 4 to 5 feet according to the buoys right nearby. And farther out towards sea, you can see right about in here 10-foot wave heights are being observed. So this system is definitely stirring up the ocean right now, although the water has stayed overseas. So as far as the rainfall that is concerned, notice it's not moving inland. You might get a few sprinkles on and off across our backyard today, but otherwise just clouds moving in, and you might notice some sunshine from time to time. Well, that's the system right about in here. It's kind of hitting a brick wall, so to say, with the rainfall. It's not quite moving inland, but it will start to move away coming up later on today, and especially through the weekend. So we will soon be done with the system, and we won't have to track it for very much longer. While we track this system, other areas are seeing some showers and storms like across parts of the upper Midwest. But otherwise, most of the country looking rather quiet as we start things off this morning. Futurecast moving forward under a mostly cloudy sky. Peaks of sunshine at times today. Most of the water or sprinkles staying over the ocean. You might get 1 or 2 of those inland at times, mainly along the coast. We will be mostly cloudy again tonight, and mostly cloudy with peaks of sunshine again as we head towards your Saturday. So overall, nothing too ridiculous with a lot of the water moving away. And even then, look at this. The clouds hold on as we head towards early Sunday morning. Our average high temperature is 69 degrees. We'll be close to average. Lower 70s today, upper 60s Saturday, Sunday, Monday, also near Tuesday. In the middle 60s Wednesday, lower 60s. We keep cooling off as we head towards your Thursday. Forecast for today, lower 70s, mostly cloudy and breezy. Northeast wind gusting up to around 25 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, lower 50s, mostly cloudy. Northeast wind backing off to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, upper 60s, mostly cloudy, and the northeast wind picking up to around 20 miles per hour. Alrighty, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Mostly cloudy for the first day of fall on Sunday with highs in the upper 60s. Upper 60s again for your Monday under a mostly cloudy sky, and mostly cloudy again for your Tuesday with highs also in the upper 60s.
Washington works for the wealthy and elites in places like New York City, while leaving us behind.
Congress is broken. It's not getting the job done. We need both parties to work together to lower electric bills, stop the flow of fentanyl, end the Biden-Harris inflation, and protect Social Security.
Congress should work for us. We must bring balance to Washington and put people over politics.
I'm Austin Terrio, and I approve this message.
Oh, another morning to savor the crunchy nooks and cranny splendor of a Thomas's English muffin.
Tom, which is a nook and which is a cranny?
That's a nook, cranny, 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 nook, cranny. I mean, they should be teaching you this in school. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
AMHG Works, LLC, American-made home goods, located at the Rennie's Plaza in Bangor. Come check us out. We're open 7 days a week, featuring artisans, crafters, and manufacturers from across the United States, where everything is meticulously designed with care and pride. We also have a wide selection of pet accessories and treats. Let us be your new favorite store. We look forward to seeing you.
Make this a summer to share in the 3-row Kia Sorento, the tech-forward Sportage, the available all-wheel drive Seltos, or the IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus Telluride, each one recommended by Consumer Reports. This summer, visit your local Kia dealer. Get 0.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of select new 2024 Sportage and 2024 Sorento models.
We have 30,000 ways to thank our loyal fans.
Courtroom leader, the judge.
Win one of 3 $10,000 cash prizes.
You just won the game, guys!
It's the 30K Thanks-A-Rama giveaway.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
A looming strike at America's ports is threatening to upend the busy holiday season. The largest union in North America, representing more than 85,000 longshoremen, are threatening a strike that would shut down 5 of the 10 busiest ports in the U.S. Fox Business correspondent Lydia Hugh is at the port in Newark, New Jersey, with the very latest.
Analysts are warning ships currently heading toward the East Coast or Gulf Coast ports are likely to get stuck if a dock worker strike happens.
We have to get to the table. We have to be able to talk.
About 45,000 dock workers are threatening to strike on October 1st.
If this strike were to go forward and last a week or more, that's when American consumers and American businesses are going to feel the pinch.
Whenever and however the dispute is resolved, it's likely to affect how freight moves in and out of the U.S. for the upcoming holiday season and years to come.
One day is too long. The moment you close the door, things begin to back up.
Some larger companies have been preparing for the worst.
They're trying to stock up in the warehouses, but that's just designed to be a temporary measure.
The International Longshoremen's Union is demanding higher wages and a total ban on the automation of cranes, gates, and container movements that load or unload freight.
The unions are calling automation a cancer.
But experts point to successful automated ports around the world that did not cut jobs, arguing America's ports are the least efficient.
It's kind of like the unions are saying to the United States, how about we become the Blockbuster of global trade while the rest of the world is Netflix? Imagine what happens if they agree to those terms. So it's inflationary over the long term, not just the short term that a strike could.
And if a strike happens, diversions could take ships on much longer routes and require truck transport to reach their final destinations. Reporting from the Port of Newark in New Jersey, Lydia Hu, Fox Business.
Israel says it's striking Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. This comes after 2 days of attacks on the militant group involving exploding pagers and other devices. Hezbollah has vowed to retaliate. Fox's Nate Foy has more from Tel Aviv.
The enemy crossed in this operation all the rules, laws, and red lines.
A possible declaration of war. That's how Hezbollah's leader Hassan Nasrallah described back-to-back days of explosions in Lebanon. A senior U.S. official says Israel compromised the terrorist group's communication devices and detonated them remotely. Nasrallah called the attacks a severe blow to Hezbollah and promised to punish Israel. Israeli fighter jets flew over Beirut during his speech. Nasrallah also promised Hezbollah will continue firing on Israel until it reaches a ceasefire deal with Hamas. Hezbollah killed 2 IDF soldiers and injured 8 Israelis during a strike this morning. Israel fired back, hitting a weapons storage facility in southern Lebanon. An elite division of Israeli paratroopers and commandos await their assignment not far away. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant discussed strategy with top military leaders.
This is a new phase of the war. It bears opportunities but also significant risks.
60,000 Israelis remain evacuated from their homes in the north. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with French leaders today, urging diplomacy over military action.
We don't want to see any escalatory actions by any party that make that even more difficult. There is a real problem that needs to be resolved when it comes to northern Israel and southern Lebanon.
The intelligence war continues adjacent to the battlefield. This Israeli man appeared in court today, accused of conspiring with Iran to assassinate Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Tonight, the Israeli Air Force launched massive airstrikes in southern Lebanon, and as a result of that, the IDF advised residents in the north who have not evacuated from their homes to stay near shelters as they await a response from Hezbollah. In Tel Aviv, Nate Foy, Fox News.
And coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll have the latest news from Hollywood in today's Hollywood Nation.
That and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
What do you call a no-show at work?
A deadbeat.
Someone who'd jack up costs for seniors.
Dead wrong.
What do you call both?
Austin Terrio.
Terrio skipped work, still took his paycheck. Now he wants to go to Congress. But there he'll give power to politicians who want to cut the Social Security and Medicare Mainers earned, then let big insurance charge seniors 5 times more for care. No-show Terrio?
No way.
Just no.
HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
The all-new Santa Fe is a giant leap forward. It's incredibly tough, unbelievably big, and amazingly smart. The all-new, epically capable Hyundai Santa Fe. There's joy in every journey.
Lease an all-wheel drive Hyundai Santa Fe for only $279 a month, or get 2.99% APR for up to 60 months. See your local Bangor Hyundai dealer.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday, September 20th, 2024. It is also the International Week of Happiness at Work.
Of course, I'm like so grumpy today.
You're just
tired.
You're tired.
I'm like, I don't want anybody to talk to me. I want to go home. I want to go like this. But it's International Happiness at Work Day.
You're so funny. Yeah, you can't be happy every day.
No.
I think
nope. It can't be.
Okay, you want to just move on to history?
It's I don't want to talk about this happiness
Okay,
stuff.
let's not talk about happiness.
Which is great. It's good. I'm not trying to bring anybody else down. But
it is also National Queso Day. So you can go home and block out the world.
Yeah.
Get yourself some queso,
that
some
was how
snacks.
I self-soothed yesterday with queso. Yeah. I went outside and got some sun, and I had some cheese dip. And that really worked. Yeah.
Perfect.
That works really well for me.
We can't be all chipper and happy every day.
No, I'm just tired. That's all it is. It's Friday.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm faking it. All right, time for history. We like the history here. On this day in history, back in 1519, Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan set sail from Spain in an effort to find a western sea route to the rich Spice Islands of Indonesia. That sounds nice, doesn't it? He became the first to circumnavigate the Earth and also discovered the Strait of Magellan, which allowed ships to pass from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. In 1973, jumping way ahead now, tennis great Billie Jean King won the Battle of the Sexes. She defeated Bobby Riggs during a match in Houston after Riggs claimed that even at 55 years old, he could beat any female tennis player. King ended up beating Riggs and took home the $100,000 prize. Take that, Bobby Riggs.
Yeah, honestly, don't talk so much, Bobby.
Right. In 1988, Olympic diver Greg Louganis won gold in South Korea one day after striking his head during a qualifying round. He ended up becoming the first man to win back-to-back gold medals, solidifying his claim as the greatest diver ever.
That's crazy. In 1995, Congress voted to drop the national speed limit of 55 miles per hour, a move that allowed the states to set their own speed limits. In 2001, President George W. Bush declared war on terrorism following the September 11th attacks. He also created the Department of Homeland Security to assist in the fight. And in 2011, the government repealed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy that allowed gay people to serve in the military. President Obama said patriotic Americans in uniform will no longer have to lie about who they are in order to serve the country they love.
All right, today's birthdays include actor John Bernthal, who turns 48 years old today. You may recognize him from The Walking Dead and some other TV and shows and movies. Singer Philip Phillips turns 34, and actress Sophia Loren turns 90 years old today, one of the last surviving stars from the golden age of Hollywood.
Yeah, talented and beautiful.
Yeah, happy birthday to all of them.
Yeah. All right, moving on now. It's starting to definitely feel like fall.
Sure is. Temperatures, you'll notice, are starting to edge down there.
Yeah, I know, right? Sweater weather. Here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Irish Collision Center offers expert repairs with a 3D frame measuring system, aluminum repair equipment. Our recent expansion boosts capacity, faster service. We're dedicated to quality every time. Visit us today. Alrighty, here we go. We do have a small crowd advisory that is posted until 8 a.m. Saturday along the coast because of the system that is located right nearby. Also, some high surf advisories will expire tonight as well, further down toward the south and west. And those green counties, that is a coastal flood advisory. That's a concern there, and that will last until about 3 p.m. as we get towards later on today for the counties highlighted here. So if you're in these areas, keep that in mind, especially if you're along the coast. Otherwise, here's a system causing trouble, descending some clouds inland. The precipitation staying over the water. You might get a few sprinkles closer toward the coast, maybe slightly inland, but for the most part, I do believe we'll stay dry today under a mostly cloudy sky. Here's a bigger picture. This is a system that's been very slow moving for a while. It is going to start moving away from us coming up later on today and especially through the weekend, so there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Futurecast for today going with a mostly cloudy sky. You might notice some sunshine at times, or you might get a little bit more sunshine at times as we head towards your Saturday. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mostly cloudy sky, maybe some sprinkles, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Do I need to fix my chair?
Yeah,
I've just been like sinking all morning.
I think these chairs are kind of losing their compression,
Yeah,
whatever that
I
is.
want to throw these chairs in the
yeah.
dumpster.
Yep. It's one of those days, huh?
I want to so bad. That would help. Okay, let's switch gears. A first look at Ellen DeGeneres' final stand-up, and Gwen Stefani has new tunes on the way.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin has those stories and more in the Hollywood Nation.
Let me see what else I can tell you about that. Been going on.
DeGeneres' last stand. Lopez lines up an office romance, and Stefani delivers a bouquet to the Hollywood Nation. Gwen Stefani is back with new music. The singer announced on social media she's releasing her 5th album, Bouquet, November 15th. The first single, Somebody Else's, will drop Friday. It's Stefani's first new record since 2017. John Cena has lined up his next Mattel film. The pro wrestler turned actor who cameoed in the Barbie movie as a Merman Ken will star in Matchbox, a live-action adaptation based on the classic Mattel car toy line. Jennifer Lopez and Brett Goldstein are teaming up for a new Netflix project. According to Deadline, the duo will lead and produce the upcoming romantic comedy Office Romance, co-written by Goldstein. Lopez already has 2 hits with the streamer, The Mother and Atlas.
Oh yeah, I got kicked out of show business.
Speaking of Netflix, the streamer dropped a first look at Ellen DeGeneres for your approval. The stand-up special will be DeGeneres' final for the streamer and marks her return to the stage after a 6-year hiatus. She will get personal and discuss what she's been up to since ending her daytime talk show after 19 seasons. It premieres September 24th.
People would have been pleasantly surprised to find out I'm kind.
In Hollywood, Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
All right, right after the break, Tyler Cruz will have the latest with sports.
Don't go away.
Okie doke. I just need...
I lived and worked in Maine most of my life, and now I'm getting by on Social Security. People like me are struggling to heat the house in the winter. Energy prices are out of control, and it's devastating for seniors. But Jared Golden voted for Biden and Harris's tax that raises heating prices even higher. It's outrageous. The Liberals changed Congressman Golden. He's leaving Mainers out in the cold.
Restoration PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
How do you set a new standard? The Chevy Equinox EV does it inch by inch and mile by mile. so you can save and save. America's most affordable EV with an over 315-mile range. When you're ready to go EV, Chevy's got you. Current qualified competitive lessees can get this well-equipped Equinox EV for around $239 a month. Visit your Maine Chevy dealer.
Backed by popular demand, the Lucerne Inn in Dedham presents its amazing Sunday brunch. Join us every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for a culinary experience like no other. Indulge in an exquisite selection of dishes, all while enjoying breathtaking views. Seating is limited, so reservations are recommended, but walk-ins are always welcome. The Lucerne Inn Sunday Brunch, where great food meets a spectacular view. Call today to reserve your spot.
Fall in love with your home again with Acclaim replacement windows from Renewal by Andersen. Do you have broken, drafty, or high-maintenance windows? We've got you covered. From consultation to installation, our Acclaim windows made with exclusive Fibrex composite material outperform traditional wood, aluminum, or vinyl. For reliable window and door replacement, choose Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window.
You want to be a lifeguard.
Go, go, go!
This is the real deal.
On an island in the sun.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's do that hockey, shall we? Maine men's hockey is just 15 days away from their season opener for the 2024-25 campaign. And after a return to relevance last year, they're looking to not only stay there, but improve. Jack Webb has the story.
It's been 12 years since Maine fans could make the Raptors ring at TD Garden. You will in 2024.
Last season, Maine men's ice hockey returned to national prominence, reaching the Hockey East semifinals and earning a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament.
You know, I think we have a really tight, high-character group of guys. Hopefully we can build on the experience that we had last year, and, you know, ultimately those final 2 games we didn't get the job done, and, you know, it's going to take a little bit more from all of us.
So far, that little bit more has included players cutting their summer short and returning to Orono in July to train as a team.
You know, guys we've been here, you know, taking care of business. So obviously a lot of sacrifice, being away from home for the summers. I know myself, I was only home for, you know, a week or 2, really.
The team will look a little bit different this year, as Carolina Hurricanes first-round pick Bradley Nadeau signed his NHL contract this offseason. He tallied 46 points for the Black Bears last winter, leaving their offense with big shoes to fill.
We're not going to replace Bradley, but we need to replace him in the you know, in the aggregate, so to speak, where, you know, we need everybody to be a little bit better.
You know, we're definitely going to miss him in immense ways, but, you know, we still got the other half of him that, you know, is a hell of a hockey player.
His brother Josh tallied 45 points last year and will be one of many key returning players for Maine, along with some veteran transfers brought in through the summer. The mix of new and old faces has the Black Bears feeling like they're the deepest they've been in years.
You know, we're just so deep in a sense where there's guys that were playing last year that's going to be tough to get in the lineup, and, you know, no spots promised.
Last year's success has yielded the most attention on the program in over a decade, and Coach Barr says his team welcomes the expectations.
I don't think you feel pressure. I mean, we expect a lot of ourselves. It's much better to be in a situation where people expect things from you than just to put the jersey on and go out and skate around and have fun.
Maine begins their season in just 16 days as they host AIC on October 5th at the Alphon. From Orono, Jack Webb, ABC7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Jack. Looking forward for that season to get underway. Let's stay up at UMaine and over to the field hockey complex now. Maine field hockey back home on Saturday and Sunday, hosting Merrimack and then Stonehill, their last 2 tune-ups before America East play begins. The Black Bears sit at 4-3 on the season. They are coming off their first 2-loss weekend of the year, dropping games on the road to nationally ranked Boston College and then Boston University. But Maine is confident they will turn it up when it matters the most, and that's conference play. And in order to do that, head coach Josette Babineau is focused on improving her team's defense.
Defensive principles, as always, even though we're probably going to be in a position of being more attack-minded this weekend. Just the decisions that we're making defensively and having a better knowledge and understanding of certain situations on the field.
Moving on to the football field now, the Patriots in action in Thursday night football. They are trying to take down their rival, the New York Jets. To MetLife Stadium we go here. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers and the Jets taking on Jacoby Brissett and the New England Patriots. Both teams looking to get to 2-1. First quarter, Jets with it, first and goal. Rodgers, the screen pass to Aaron Lazard. He makes a few guys miss, loses his undershirt, but gets in for the touchdown. 7-0 Jets early. 14-0 now. Second quarter, Pats need to get going. Looking deep for Tyquan Thornton, and he draws the pass interference penalty. Can't come up with the catch, but that sets the Patriots up nicely in Jets territory. Joe Cardona and Joey Sly come on, and they get 3. To the second half now, same score. Jets in first and goal again. Rodgers making plays with his legs. He hits Garrett Wilson for the touchdown. The Jets go on to win big in this one. We did see some Drake May, but the Jets win 24-3. Moving on to the high school sports scene now, and we head down to MCI in Pittsfield, where the Huskies are hosting the John Baptist Crusaders. The Patriots weren't the only ones in action tonight as these Class D foes squared off. We're going to pick this one up in the second quarter. Already 7-0 Baptist as Tucker Mitchell gets it and runs it in for a touchdown. MCI driving now. That is going to be Caleb Kennedy swinging it out to Drew Shorey, who lowers the boom down on the sideline for the MCI first down. The Huskies would end up punting on the possession later in the quarter. Aiden Willett airs it out to Zach Babcock for the long touchdown pass, and that is 7 more for the John Baptist Crusaders. The ensuing kickoff now. Tyler Wilkinson goes and just steals the ball from the returner and then makes off like a bandit to the end zone. What a play for the Crusaders. They score 2 touchdowns in the matter of seconds. They win it 42-0. All right, back to Hedrick Field we go. This time it's for some field hockey. Brewer hosting the Rams from Bangor. We're going to pick it up in the first quarter. Paige Oakes has it. She is going to get it in close. It gets over to Olivia Gilmore. She fires, but Kaya Smith makes the save to keep it scoreless and then kicks another one away too. Brewer on the corner now. That is going to go out to Oakes. She grabs it, leaves it for Allie Flagg. Nice smooth move, stops and fires, and she scores 3 goals in the first quarter for Flagg, which is again still in the first. This time it's Oakes all alone, taking it down, rears back and lets it fly. That finds the goal. Brewer goes on to win 9-0, their 4th consecutive shutout. All right, that is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
I'll stand up to any politician, even in my own party, who tries to cut Social Security. I put people over politics, and I always will. I'm Austin Terrio, and I approve this message to protect Social Security.
Driving the Nissan Rogue with Google built in is like...
Hey Google, turn on Rocky's Food.
It's like the ultimate connection. See why it's been awarded a Consumer Guide Best Buy and recommended by Consumer Reports. Drive the Nissan Rogue today.
Now get a low $299 per month lease for 36 months on the 2024 Nissan Rogue.
I was hurt in a bad motorcycle accident. I tried to handle it on my own, but I could tell quickly I was in way over my head. The other driver's insurance company was very difficult to work with. That's why I decided to call Joe. Smartest move I ever made. I went from being completely overwhelmed with doctor's appointments and medical bills to feeling normal again. Joe Bornstein's office took care of everything. I was completely satisfied with the outcome, and I wish I'd called sooner.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Hanks Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snowblowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hanks Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
I'll stand up to any politician, even in my own party, who tries to cut Social Security. I put people over politics, and I always will. I'm Austin Terrio, and I approve this message to protect Social Security.
Well,
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with Kelly Cookson. She's with Save a Life Resource Recovery Center in Lincoln, and she's here to talk about an upcoming event today and tomorrow. Walk to Recovery, is this the name of the event?
Walk into Recovery.
Walk into
it's our
Recovery.
4th annual event of this
We're
type.
smiling because she's had to remind me too many times. I'm not with it this morning. Thank you, Kelly. But yeah, the 4th annual event, tell us all about it.
So we started doing a Walk into Recovery to help make recovery more visible in our rural area.
Yeah.
To bring hope to people that might be looking for positive life changes and just to bring people together, connection.
Right. So it's, you know, a dose of good, healthy fun, it seems like, and resources for folks who are seeking help with recovery. Can you tell us a little bit about, let's get to the nitty gritty first. What types of resources will there be available for folks to look into?
Well, we've decided to invite our friends and allies to participate with us this year. So we're looking at it as like a neighborhood block party style.
Cool.
So there'll be a variety of different resources there. True Connections is one of our local partners that will be there. They offer clinical services that relate to substance use.
Yep.
There'll be some folks from rehab centers there to talk about the services that they can offer to people in our area specifically.
Yeah.
And it's just a good opportunity, I think, for people to put a face to the names of some of these places they may have heard about before. And it might make it less scary if they decide that they want to seek out services there.
I think everybody who needs help wants a person to tell them what their options are and reach out to them rather than Googling or talking to somebody online or over the phone.
Absolutely, yeah. But a big part of this is just, let's celebrate. It's Recovery Month. We're going to have fun, and that, I think, is the most important part of this evening.
Yeah. I mean, if you're diving into that process of recovery, you have a lot to be proud of, and it
Absolutely.
is a celebration.
Yes.
Yeah. And so on that note, what types of fun stuff is going on as well?
I'm hearing we offered our partners the opportunity to provide an interactive activity for folks coming. So we're getting some interesting activities I'm so excited about. I know one organization was talking about a TikTok trend they saw with like macaroni tie-dye. So I'm fascinated to try that. And then other folks are like, I'll bring cornhole, I'll bring a badminton net. And some people, I don't know, it's going to be a surprise.
Yeah.
And free ATV rides, I think, is going to be a blast for people.
Wow, this sounds like a great block party. You have everything.
Well, people just started hearing about it, and they're like, hey, we want to come. And that was so awesome.
Yeah, so
awesome.
It's just bringing the community together. It's kind of for everybody.
It is. I see it as a chance for us that are providing the resources too. It's just team building.
Right. And can you say where and when for us? I don't know if we brought that up yet.
I don't think we did. That's important. It is at the Save a Life Center. We'll be all the way down the road. That's at 19 VFW Street in Lincoln.
Okay. And tonight and tomorrow?
It is tonight only for this event, from 5 to 7-ish. Whenever we finish up, we'll have a free barbecue. So if you just want to drop in and grab a burger and take a ride, fine. Just come and say hi. It's
of course,
free.
Snacks as well. Yeah, food and entertainment.
Family friendly.
Yeah. Wow.
Live music.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're going all out. We want a party.
This sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly, for coming in and telling us about it.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for a look at our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Irish Collision Center offers expert repairs with a 3D frame measuring system, aluminum repair equipment. Our recent expansion boosts capacity, faster service. We're dedicated to quality every time. Visit us today. Alrighty, here we go. Small crowd advisory up along the coast until 8 a.m. Saturday here because of high surf that will be expected in these areas because of a system nearby. Also a high surf advisory up until 7 p.m. Friday. Further off towards the south and west. And then these green counties right about in here is a coastal flood advisory because of the surf concerns. And now lasts until about 3 p.m. later on today. And that's for the counties highlighted here and green. Wave heights are becoming active out there at around 4 to 5 feet according to the buoys right nearby. And farther out towards sea, you can see right about in here 10-foot wave heights are being observed. So this system is definitely stirring up the ocean right now, although the water has stayed overseas. So as far as the rainfall that is concerned, notice it's not moving inland. You might get a few sprinkles on and off across our backyard today, but otherwise just clouds moving in, and you might notice some sunshine from time to time. Well, that's the system right about in here. It's kind of hitting a brick wall, so to say, with the rainfall. It's not quite moving inland, but it will start to move away coming up later on today and especially through the weekend. So we will soon be done with the system and we won't have to track it for very much longer. While we track this system, other areas are seeing some showers and storms like across parts of the upper Midwest. But otherwise, most of the country looking rather quiet as we start things off this morning. Futurecast moving forward under a mostly cloudy sky. Peaks of sunshine at times today. Most of the water or sprinkles staying over the ocean. You might get 1 or 2 of those inland at times, mainly along the coast. We will be mostly cloudy again tonight and mostly cloudy with peaks of sunshine again as we head towards your Saturday. So overall, nothing too ridiculous with a lot of the water moving away. And even then, look at this. The clouds hold on as we head towards early Sunday morning. Our average high temperature is 69 degrees. We'll be close to average. Lower 70s today, upper 60s Saturday, Sunday, Monday, also near Tuesday. The middle 60s Wednesday, lower 60s. We keep cooling off as we head towards your Thursday. Forecast for today, lower 70s, mostly cloudy and breezy. Northeast wind gusting up to around 25 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, lower 50s, mostly cloudy. Northeast wind backing off to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, upper 60s, mostly cloudy, and the northeast wind picking up to around 20 miles per hour. Alrighty, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Irish Collision Center. Mostly cloudy for the first day of fall on Sunday with highs in the upper 60s. Upper 60s again for your Monday under a mostly cloudy sky, and mostly cloudy again for your Tuesday with highs also in the upper 60s.
Maine Paving is Eastern and Central Maine's go-to for all things paving. Maine Paving specializes in commercial or residential paving, grading, seal coating, and crack filling. And get this, refer someone that schedules a job and receive a $250 Visa gift card, currently booking for this year.
When you want something, you pursue it. And with vitiligo, the pursuit for your pigment is just the same. It's time you found a proven choice to help restore what's yours. Opzelura is the first and only FDA-approved prescription treatment for non-segmental vitiligo, proven to help repigment skin over time, restoring what's yours. It really is possible with a steroid-free cream that you can apply yourself.
Opzelura can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB or hepatitis B or C. Serious lung infections, skin cancer, blood clots, and low blood cell counts occurred with Opzelura. In people taking JAK inhibitors, serious infections, increased risk of death, lymphoma, other cancers, and major cardiovascular events have occurred. The most common side effects were acne and itching where applied.
Repigmentation is possible. Ask your dermatologist today about starting or refilling Opzelura. Pursue it.
For best value, go with the longest lasting brand, Toyota. And at the Toyota Best Value event, you can get a Tundra, the longest lasting half-ton truck with 1.99 financing, including hybrid and gas models. Plus, get 2 years no-cost maintenance.
The longest lasting brand.
So for a vehicle with long-lasting value, see your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Maine Paving is Eastern and Central Maine's go-to for all things paving. Maine Paving specializes in commercial or residential paving, grading, seal coating, and crack filling. And get this, refer someone that schedules a job and receive a $250 Visa gift card, currently booking for this year.
Benny and Suzanne Anguiano spent days searching the Yellowstone forest after their cat, Rainbow, got away on a camping trip. They searched high and low for hours on end, got help from park rangers and other campers, but Rainbow was nowhere to be found. But after a while, they had to call off the search and go back home, until a woman in Roseville found Rainbow and took him to the local SPCA some 800 miles from where he'd gone missing. And the couple was notified that they could finally come home. So, you know, an 800-mile trip from one very brave kitty.
Glad the kitty's doing okay. I don't know if that was a microchip situation, but
must have been
another good example of getting your pets chipped.
I know. I got my cat from Bangor Humane, and they did it for me, which is awesome. Which really, if he were to ever get out, knock on wood, it's not going to happen. But he'd be able to be found.
I still have to do that to Dude.
I
That's
know.
a good reminder.
Yeah.
All right, finally, this is the story of the day. An adorable and famous baby hippo draws thousands of fans to a Thailand zoo. The famous hippo called Moo Dang, which Emma just loves, it stands for bouncing pig, has taken the world by storm after zookeepers in Thailand's Khao Khao Open Zoo posted videos of her online. Moo Dang's TikTok now has 2.6 million followers, and she's even starring in a Sephora Thailand blush promotion. According to the zoo's director, since Moo Dang's viral debut, the amount of visitors has gone from about 800 to around 3,000 to 4,000 per day.
And I am one of them. The memes about this baby hippo have been going crazy all week. There's just so many photos of Moo Dang biting her zookeepers, but she has no teeth yet, so it's just cute.
Gumming it.
I love it. I love her.
What a cute animal.
All right, looks like we're about out of time. We hope you have a great weekend.
Have a good day, everyone.
Today on 25 Words or Less, he's a stand-up comedian, TV host, actor, writer, philanthropist, executive producer, top-rated national syndicated radio personality, and owner of the longest business cards in the